Dylan Frittelli has secured his first ever PGA Tour victory after recording a score of 21 under at the 2019 John Deere Classic. He met with the media following the big win and described his emotions after clinching the title.
I watched this tournament as a kid, didn't know much about it besides that it's a really low scoring event, and when I graduated college with my buddy Jordan Spieth one year a couple of times, and obviously came into my focus once I'd become a member of the PGA Tour. But now to have won it, I don't know, still sinking in. It feels awesome, it feels great. The support I got from everyone here this week in town felt awesome, and they definitely made me feel at home. It's probably one of the best tour stops I've been to when it comes to support from the community.
You're in your first start. What kinds of things did you heard about the event from your fellow players that kind of wound up with this on your schedule?
When I think back to earlier in the season, I just remember guys saying that it's a really fun event for the players. It seems like we get great support from the volunteers, from the people nearby. I mean, I stayed with a family this week. My backup caddy knew a family. He was at college with Matt Solis, so I stayed with the Solis family all week, and they were great. They literally gave me a room in their house and said, do what you need to, use the kitchen, use the laundry room, like, go to town, and that definitely helped this week. It really relaxed me, and I felt pretty at home the whole week, so thanks to them and thanks to everyone else. It's definitely something that I've enjoyed. But I guess, I don't know, just the history of the tournament, it seems like whenever you have a tournament that has a sponsor for a long time, it definitely says something about how the community sees it, how the sponsors sees it, and this event definitely has been, I mean, how many years has John Deere been a sponsor? 14, 15 plus years?
Claire?
22. I'm only 28, 29 now, so I mean, yeah, ever since I was a kid watching golf, I'd always known about this tournament. So, no, it's crucial having those long-term sponsors on the tour, and when you have that, it's always good to repay that, and I'm thankful to John Deere.
And the last question is, with the win, you get the 2-year exemption, so that really kind of frees you up to kind of plan a schedule. How special is that?
Yeah, that's huge. I'd obviously won on the European Tour, but my exemption was running out at the end of this year, so I was looking at, well, if I don't keep my card here on the US Tour, then I got to go to Corn Ferry Tour School, play the playoffs there, and try and get my card back, but then I'm giving up 3 or 4 weeks to play in Europe where I could try and keep a card, and all this stuff's been going through my mind the last sort of 4 to 8 weeks, and the only thing is you can't control that stuff. You just got to play golf and try and put that in the background. So I managed to do it this week. Last week and the previous week I played great, but let it affect me, and thankfully this weekend I just managed to knuckle down and have a really clear mindset and execute on pretty much every shot on the weekend.
Okay, we'll take a few questions. Start right here, and then Cameron in the second row.
Dylan, did you think when you woke up this morning you were close enough to make a run? Because so many people do make runs in this tournament.
Funny thing was, I didn't actually know where I was. I don't look at leaderboards, I don't look at scores. I went home having spoken to Amanda in the CBS booth, and so I was tied for the lead. So when I left there, I said, okay, I'm tied for the lead. I went home 2 hours later after practicing, obviously, and getting some physio, but I didn't check the scores. I woke up this morning and checked the tee times, and I was like, oh, I'm actually 2 shots behind. So I managed to sleep thinking that I was in the lead or around the lead, or I don't really get too bogged down by specifics. I knew I had to come out here and make a bunch of birdies today, so nothing was going to change that. Whether I was 4 shots back or 1 shot back, it really had no bearing on how I had to play today. So luckily I managed to have that mindset overnight, and when I got going felt really comfortable. And I guess the guys, I didn't see what the leaders did. I saw Andrew Landry coming in, he congratulated me, good friend from Austin, and I guess they didn't really do much out there the last 4 groups or 3 groups, and thankfully I was able to have a little cushion there at the end.
So you never knew where you were in the course of the day?
Not until 17. I looked down the hill to read my putt, and there was a giant scoreboard right behind the pin, and I saw my name on top, so immediately my eyes went there and figured 20 under, I'm on top. I tried not to look at the rest. I saw Russell's posted at 19, I believe, so I figured, okay, if I make this, I've got 2 shots down the last, and I didn't know what anyone else was doing on the back 9, so made the putt. That was huge. Definitely calmed me over the 18th tee shot. Managed to stripe that down the middle and long and straight, but walk into the fairway. Caddy didn't say anything. We just stuck to the plan and managed to hit it on the green, and then hit a pretty terrible approach shot into the green there. I was trying to hit it deeper into the green, but he said, do you know the situation? And I was like, what's happened? Has someone made birdie or eagle? And he said, no, you're 2 shots clear. Like, you hit it way short. I thought you knew what was going on. You were just playing safe. And I said, well, I figured I was ahead, but now I'm pretty happy that I'm 40 feet away safely on the green.
Cameron and then George.
Dylan, great playing. What, looking at your season sort of from 30,000 feet, what was the big difference this week as opposed to some of these other
Yeah. It was mental clarity. I owe a lot of credit to my sports like Jay Brunza in San Diego. We've worked on basically tons of techniques to try and perform the best. I'm not going to give away too many of the techniques, but plan for this week was just to be creative and have fun, and that's what I tried to do last week as well. Didn't really achieve that, and I think I've just been carrying a lot of weight on my shoulders with what I explained earlier with the situation and keeping a card in Europe, keeping a card here, and it's so hard not to focus on those outcomes when you're looking to plan flights and bookings and all this stuff. So the win definitely clears up all of those thoughts, and I'm going to use that as fuel now moving forward to try and push on in the world rankings, get back into the top 50 now, and play all the majors and WGCs that I can. That's definitely the biggest goal for me now, but the key was just the mindset. I know I have the physical attributes, I know I've got the technique, so the fact that I could quiet my mind and just relax and focus on the task at hand. It sounds simple, but that's pretty much what golf is at the top level. If you can block out those distractors or those things that get your emotions going, it makes it so much easier. And I try to have fun today. I don't know if you saw me in the coverage, but I was smiling. I 3-putted on 14 and I walked off the green smiling. I don't think many pros out here can do that. So that's definitely something that I have in my arsenal, that I don't get down on myself. I try and stay happy most of the time.